Okay, good. I'd like to welcome everybody who is here again tonight. My name is Adeolu Akiyemi. I'm pastor at Heaven Citizens Christian Center. Today we're going to be talking about how to plan for 2019. I'm going to share the slides just right away. And then as soon as I share the slides, I'll be using the slides to explain to us how this will work and what exactly we need to do as well. So I'd like to welcome everybody who is here today. 2019. And the question is living intentionally in 2019. And I'm trusting God that all of us who are here tonight will be able to enter into this new year very intentionally with clear plans of exactly what we want to do and how we want to go about doing it. So 2019 is here. Today is the 29th of December 2018. In 2 days, this year will be over and a new year will begin. And a new year is always an opportunity to evaluate the old year and to begin again more intelligently. Even though life is a continuum, there's a sense of refocusing and repurposing that we all have when a new year is around the corner. And I want us to be able to leverage on that together to say a new year is around the corner. How do I ensure that I can make the most of it? Can I start intelligently and can I do things well? And I captioned this living intentionally in 2019 because it's important that we're able to do what we want to do intentionally. It's important that we don't just go into the year and coast along. It's important that we're able to make deliberate choices. We're able to be involved in the process of our year evolving. Our year is not left to the forces of reaction, but we can proactively think about what we want to do in the course of the year and put plans in place, ask the right questions, meet the right people, engage the right relationships to ensure that things are moving in the exact direction that we want them to go. Okay, so it's important that we're able to do this. Typically, this should take you quite some time. You should take some time thinking clearly about the coming year so that you just don't go blindly into the year and you go in reacting to everything that happens. So this is about being intentional, thinking it through, asking yourself, what do I want to happen for my next year? What exactly do I what do I want to achieve? So to speak, what do I want to achieve? What do I want to do? My career, my family, my children. Rather than allowing things to happen in the year that shake you left and right, you keep your eyes in front of you, have a clear focus, and you know what you want to accomplish. So very quickly today, that's going to be the crux of our discussion. Since it's been done online and there are slides available, I will say that the general conversation will take us about roughly an hour. And then we'll have question and answers. I will wait for question and answers for us for as long as it takes. But the actual doing of setting these structures in place as a unit, as a person, or as a family will take you a little more time. It may take you another 1 to 2 hours as well to be able to firm up exactly what you want to do, because some of them will require thinking ahead, planning ahead, and being sure that this is exactly what I want to do. So I'm sure you're familiar with this wheel, and I like to share to people that to not choose is to choose, not to choose. Okay, some people don't want to make decisions. Not making a decision is a decision in itself. That when we refuse to decide, we have already decided not to decide. And I say that with a lot of meaning, because there are many people who in their Christian mind feel this is not something that they should be doing. That do not plan for tomorrow, or do not say this will happen tomorrow because nobody knows tomorrow, or sufficient for the day is the evil thereof. Let's say tomorrow we'll achieve this by God's grace. Now, of course, God has given us the capacity to make choices. God knows tomorrow. He knows the thoughts that He has told us are thoughts of good, not of evil, to give us a future and a hope and to bring us to expected ends. God has a plan for our lives, and the plans are good. And He gives us the opportunity every day to choose life or death. He said, we have said before you, man, that which is good, choose this and live, or choose this otherwise. So as human beings made in God's image, we've been given the creative abilities to choose. And when we utilize that ability, then we choose. And when we don't utilize that ability, we have also chosen. Because we have decided, rather than to be proactive about our lives, we have decided to be reactive, to allow things happen to us to determine what we will do. Now, if you look at this wheel of life, the question I want to ask you for 2018 is, what are your goals in each area? What exactly have you set as your goal in each of these dimensions of life? And typically when I want to do this, I don't want to put spiritual there, because really, I feel spirituality is the core of our essence, it's the core of everything else that we do. Everything that we do spills out from inside to the outside. Christ is first in us, and then he lives it out in our career, he's lived out in our family, he's lived out in our finances, lived out in every dimension of our lives. But just to call it out again today, so that there's not an area of life that we don't have clear goals in. And of course, it's definitely made major here on this slide, because we're going to start with it. It's going to be the foundation on which every aspect and dimension of our life is based upon. But you want to choose. And in choosing, you want to choose to be, you want to choose to do, which is a begin step, and you want to take action. So today, I like us to think from I want to start from who I want to become, and then from who I want to become, what I want to do, and from what I want to do, what I want to have. What I want to have as an action, what I want to do as my to-do list, and what I want to be as my ultimate end. So I like us to make up our minds today. 2019, I don't want to just waltz into the year. I want to choose. I want to be involved. I want to work with God. I want to have a personal relationship where I am able to have a conversation with God prayerfully and say, God, for my tomorrow, for the days ahead, what's it going to be? This is what I'm going through. This is what I'm looking forward to. To get to a place where we can even make our request known to God in line with his will, and where they are not in line with his will, we can say, God, this is just me talking. Nevertheless, let your will be done. But very actively, we need to participate in making proactive choices. So, and even in the very nature of everything, whatever it is that we wait till the last moment to decide, we realize that we're in the power of those things. But whatever we have proactively made as a choice ahead, we have more freedom when the opportunity comes. And I'll give you an example. So, for example, if I told myself that I don't want to lie, for example, if somebody suddenly asks me a question that will put me in a compromised position, and they ask me without me thinking about it, I may find out that I've lied before I even think about it. But if I've thought about it before I go there and say, look, whatever happens in this place today, if they ask me this, I will not lie. I will speak the truth. And this is why. And this is the end. This is why this is my value. I want to speak the truth, even if it's going to punish me, even though what's the worst that can happen. I'm willing to take the worst that can happen. Now, when I think this way, when the opportunity presents itself, it is more likely that I'm going to be able to do what I have proactively chosen. So by being proactive, by thinking ahead, I'm giving myself more option for freedom when the opportunity comes, versus if I just go with the flow and say, when the time comes, I'll make up my mind. When the time comes and we need to make up our mind under the pressure of the tyranny of time, we make wrong decisions. Okay, but when I release myself and say, you know what, ahead of the time, I think it through, I look at all the options, I look at the worst case scenarios, I'm able to end up with better choices. So today, this year as well, I like you to choose. And this is a very interesting exercise, because if you are married, you should do it with your spouse. If you're not married, do it alone. If you have, and do this, ask questions. It will open up all the questions you need to ask. It will open up all the research you need to do online. This is not just something, let me write my goal for the year on my to-do list. Many of the things that we write in those ways, we finally throw away by February. But if we're very deliberate about our lives, about the key areas of our lives, we can be guided by God proactively. Can be guided. It can give us foresight and insight into the things that are about to be, and it can give us carefully guide our choices. And this is what I'm hoping will happen for you, for me, and for all of us in Jesus' name. Okay, so the first thing I like to explain as a principle, I've shared this at a number of places in different times of trainings, but I like you to have this concept. So this is the overriding concept behind which our goals will be drawn. One is B. So I want to become, so my real goal is not what I want to have. People say the goal, and say my goal this year is to have a car, okay? Or my goal is to do 20 press-ups per day. That's not the real essence. So that's the real foundation of what your goal is what you want to become. Okay, so your goal is ends in a becoming. I want to become the kind of person who knows they have the capacity to make choices and who actually makes those choices. I want to be the kind of person who chooses, who knows they can choose and decides to choose. I want to be that kind of person. I want to be the kind of person who cares for others. I want to be the kind of person who is caring, who is considerate. I want to be the kind of person who forgives. I want to be the kind of person who is fit. For example, I want to be the kind of person who is fit. So if I want to be the kind of person who is fit, then what must I do? I must do exercises. I must go to the gym. I must cut out, a few things from my diet. It is who I want to be that determines what I do. And when I do the things I want to do, one of the ways in which I can manifestly do the things I want to do is to have schedules, is to have appointments, is to have a few things set in place that ensures that what I desire to become and the things I have consequently decided to do, I can also have them as well. So it's very important. Be, do, have. I just use that as a metaphor for basically hosting the thought of, I want to become this is my goal. I have to do this as a process, and then I will have this. It's also part of my process and part of my results as well. So there's a way I'm tracking my results, is what I have. There's a way I'm tracking my process, is what I do. But every do is hanging on who I want to become. So and that I will look at that in my spiritual, in my walk with God, in my relationship with God. I will look at that in my career. I will look at that in my social life. I will look at that in my outreach to others, in my ministry, in the groups I belong to, in the places I participate in, and all of those things. So I will share this. I will share a little bit of mine as well, so that you can have a few examples of what is possible to set as these goals. Now, this is important because if you want to build a house, you plan. It's very interesting where in our own lives we can say, I don't need to plan. Things will just go. I tell people the only kind of buildings that don't require planning are huts, and even huts require planning. The more shabby you want the building to be, if you want it to be a sand castle and you just put your leg in the sand and mount the sand on top of it, then it requires no planning. The more sophisticated the building, the more planning requires. The more the architects will have to draw, the more BOQs will need to be done, the more you need to, really, really prepare, plan, and structure how you want to do everything. The more you need to count the costs. The same thing, you're going to have a beautiful life in 2019. And I pray that everybody who is understanding my voice this morning or this evening has a beautiful 2019, has an amazing year. And your year is going to be amazing. It's going to be like a skyscraper, tall, beautiful, lovely life that God will be represented through, and He will manifest His will through. And that your life needs a plan. Okay, so the more exciting the future is going to be, the more planning is required. And 2 days planning is already not enough time. But if you do this well and you're able to now sit down on this and really flesh it out and document exactly what the plan for 2019 is, it's going to be a beautiful year. So who you want to be, what you want to do, and how, what you're going to have to set in place to ensure that everything can be done. So this is the framework that we're going to be using in our thinking. This is the framework we're going to be using to make this happen. I'd just like you to understand that framework so that as we begin to talk about all the key elements, you can, work within that framework as well to determine exactly what you want to do. Now, I will not be able to exhaust every possible example in this discussion. So at some point, I will create an opportunity for us to ask direct questions so that we can look at our own key things. I can comment on your own private goals. I can give a few thoughts and guidance here and there so that you can shape it up together, and then you can work with whoever you want to work with to make it better. But I feel it's important that we're able to have a plan, okay? The better the future, the more planning is required. The Bible says the great secret that God has, the Bible says He took careful attention in planning it. So God had planned, okay, this big secret, this Christ in us, the hope of glory, is not something that just happened in the New Testament. God had, from Genesis 1, verse 1, even before the foundation of the world, had begun to plan, what He wanted to do. And the Bible says He took so much delight in planning it. So today I'm praying that your planning process will be very delightful. You'll find yourself excited about planning as you put this together. And, some of you will be able to take out the plan and show and say, hey, see my plan, see what I'm working on. Okay? And I pray it's going to be that exciting for you, just as it was exciting for God. Okay, so very quickly, spiritual growth goals. Now, if you know me well, you know that I'm not a big fan of separating lives into different dimensions. But I think as a way of easily understanding and being able to come to terms with certain things, we will need to do some of the divisions so that we can communicate. The Bible says the child Jesus Christ grew in stature, so there was a physical dimension of His growth. The Bible says He grew in wisdom, so there was an intellectual dimension to His growth. And the Bible says He grew in favor with God. There was a spiritual dimension in relationship with God, and He grew in favor with man. There was a social dimension to His growth. And if you look at the life of Jesus Christ, you see that He was well-rounded in these 4 dimensions. So these 4 dimensions are the same dimensions I'm basically breaking down into these 7 key spaces. The Bible says He grew in stature, so physical, health, every dimension of His body, He grew in stature. He grew in wisdom, which is His intellect, His career, His mind, His mental framework. He grew in intellect, He grew in wisdom. and it grew in favor with God. So there's a God dimension, and it grew in favor with man. So there was a social acceptance of Jesus as well. So in the same vein, it grew in this way. And it's very interesting that even the spiritual growth, his relationship with God, was not even really what was mentioned first. It was human, basically to show his humanity. But today, because the core of our very being, the core of our existence, stems out from the foundation of who we want to be. So it is important that you have goals that have to do with your relationship with God. And forgive that I'm calling it spiritual. Spiritual really means it's an interaction with the spirit being. It's an interaction with God. Religion is when it's a handed down relationship, meaning you don't have a direct relationship. Somebody's relationship is what all that exists for you. But once somebody's relationship exists for you, and you're able to also touch sides with the person that related with the person who there with you, meaning, yes, someone can teach you about God, someone can enlighten you about God, but you have your own relationship as well, then you have a spiritual relationship, and there's an opportunity for growth there. And if you really want to grow, it's not about the things. So people just jump at doing, and there will be so many things to do. But the things to do, you will lose steam. We all lose steam for doing the things that we need to do because we don't know, the why. So what it says, when your why is big enough, your how will show up. So what I'd like us to be able to anchor ourselves in today, I'd like us to anchor ourselves very steeply first in our why. So who do I want to be? Okay, it's very important. Who do I want to be? And who I want to be, as far as my spiritual goals are concerned, I want to become more in tune with the reality of my personal relationship with God. Okay, I want to be the kind of person who is more in tune. So forget the things I need to do. I'll think about things I need to do first when who I want to be is clear to me. And these are examples. This may be your example. It may not be your example. This is my example, for example. I want to become the kind of person who is more in tune with God. I want to carry over that relationship with me every day. I want my every waking, living, interacting moment to be underscored by a very strong realization that I am a friend of God. I am a child of God. I am in love with God. God is in love with me. I want my life to ooze an overwhelming effect of somebody who is in a personal relationship with God. And if I can give you synonyms or examples to showcase this, imagine what it feels like when you know somebody who is important. You want to talk to somebody and say, I have friends in high places. I can call the number of so and so. I can reach out to this person. When I call this person and I don't reach them, they call me back. I have this personal relationship. Our personal relationships can move mountains on our behalf in the normal world. How much more if we really truly believe that we have a personal relationship with our Savior, with God, the God that made the universe, the God that owns all things. So if I want to become the kind of person who is in tune with this, that can be a become. That's a very good become. Or I want to become more in tune with who I am, who God says I am. So I want to live in the reality of the fact that God loves me. And some of us don't really realize, it doesn't show in our everyday lives. Our faces are gloomy at times. Sometimes we are soaked in worry. Sometimes we are soaked in cares and concerns. We're not living in the full realization on a daily basis that we are loved by God, that we are chosen by God without qualifying, that we are a branch and have the same life force flowing through us, that we are living stones fitted together with Christ and other believers to the house of God, that our lives support others, our lives are supported by others, that we are soldiers who are meant to be duty bound, who are meant to be disciplined, who are meant to take this work seriously, to take this relationship seriously, to obey our general's command. And even when our general is not present with us and we have other people who are standing in their place, to be able to understand our general's intent and be able to obey instructions, even in the face of anything that we're going through, to realize that we're joint heirs with Christ, to realize that we're already more than conquerors, we are victorious, to walk without bounds, without spring, with the courage of somebody who is already courageous, who represents God. Now, if I will be who I want to be in 2019, there are things that I will need to do. Okay, so once I realize that this is who I can be, I can make up my mind that this is who I am. So how do I become this kind of person? I need to relate with God more regularly. I need to be frequent in my relationship with God. So this will now birth for me very clear goals. Now, these clear goals of doing my Bible study, these clear goals of praying, these clear goals of doing different plans and different challenges for my Bible study, for my relationship with God, having prayer walks, having time alone with God. This is not because I want to ramp up activities. It's because of who I want to be. And once it is clear who I want to be spills over into what I need to do. So I need to relate regularly with Jesus. I need to reach out to others regularly, because I realize that I will grow in my realization of who I am when I am making myself useful as a vessel for him to use. If I'm a branch, I will bear fruit. If I'm a branch, his life will flow through me and flow out to others through me. So I need to reach out to others. So nobody needs to market me or cajole me to participate in Market Women with stars, with different initiatives to serve, to be in love with other brethren. Nobody needs to motivate me, because I know who I want to become. I want to become as he is. I want to be an imitator of God as Christ Jesus. I want to love like he loves. I want to live from that essence. So I need to, my to-do list and the things I need to do in 2019 will take effect from who I want to be. So I need to regularly reach out to others. I need to review Jesus regularly to see if I'm still in character. So if the character of the character that I play in this drama of life is Christ's character, then I need to ask myself, what do I need to do on a regular basis? How frequently do I need to ask myself, what would Jesus do? How frequently do I need to review and assess myself and say, am I following the path? Am I still in character? And then when all that is done, I also need to have. So the way life is structured, the things that are very important are always under the tyranny of the things that are not so important but have become urgent. Okay? So urgency tends to shift away importance away from our timetables. And the best things in life are things that if you don't really fix and set appointments or schedule time for them to be done, they will never be done. If I ask anybody here today, do you love your wife? The answer is yes. Do you love your husband? The answer is yes. Do you love God? The answer is yes. Do you love your neighbors? The answer is yes. But the things that we love and the people that we really want to invest in, we all realize we don't spend enough time with them, because if we give them what is left of our time, nothing will happen. But if we schedule it, and that's why it's important to schedule. So I need to schedule that every day I will create this time when I will study God's word. There's a plan I must have per day. If you want to finish the Bible in 2019, this is the time to set the agenda. Okay, and it's not about just finishing the Bible. I want to finish. I want to have a deep, intimate relationship while this is going on. Because remember, it's not about finishing the Bible. It's about who I am becoming. I want to become somebody who's in tune with God's relationship. I want to become who God says that I am. I want to set up appointments for meetups, for serving weekly. Nobody will cajole me to serve weekly. Nobody will cajole me meetings to go for. I will have on my to-do list the different schedules of the things that are really important and not urgent that I need to do. I need to identify the big stones, the big rocks, the really important things that are not urgent in my life, and schedule them. The ones that have become emergency, I need to fix them. And the ones that I don't really need to do, I need to find somebody else I can delegate them to. So this, for example, gives me an opportunity to write down all the key elements of the things I want to make in my goals as far as my growth in my relationship with God is concerned. And I hope this is clear and making sense. Of course, if you look under the do, what do I want to do? I want to imitate God. Okay, that's personal. I want to love as Christ loved me. That's to others. And as far as God is concerned, I want to obey his commandments. So those are the things that I want to do. And then I need to ask myself, what exactly will I do that will make this possible? In imitating God, what do I need to do on a regular basis? What are the activities that I need to be involved in that makes this possible? What are the things I need to have scheduled? Remember, the key word here for our true goals is it must be your schedule. Whatever goals you are setting that does not make it into your calendar is not a goal, okay? Whatever goal you're setting that doesn't make it into your calendar is not really a goal. You need to ensure that the goals you have make it all the way into your calendar. Okay, that is where they're important. That's where they begin to add value. That's where it's crucial. So ensure that your goals make it into your schedules. This is what I would do. This is how it manifests in my calendar. This is what is important based on these realities. It is very important. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that in so that we are conscious and aware of that. It's important that our goals are reflecting the key things that we want to do. I want to show you something, so I just want to make sure that is available somewhere here so that I can always switch to it as soon as I'm ready to switch to it. Okay, very good. Okay, so this is important. Now, career goals. So for your career goals as well, you want to ask yourself, who do I want to become? What do I want to do? And what do I want to have? And all of us have different careers. So I'm not going to speak, I'm going to be speaking generally. You can apply for yourself and say, how does this touch me? So some people are not in career line for work. For example, some people's career is business. So understand that whether it's your business, whether it's your career, the mountain where you spend your life, the place where you have influence, where you spend your time on a daily basis, where you go to, where you represent Christ. Okay, this is the opportunity. This is what your career offers you. And for your career, you want to become somebody. So, for example, I want to become top 10 in my career. I want to become a standard in my career. I want to become an example of what Jesus Christ will do in business. I want to become an example of what Jesus will do in marketing. I want to become an expression of my Savior in this new dimension of life. I want to become top 10. I want to become valuable to others. On LinkedIn, I want to be somebody who shares value and has many people following him. I want to be excellent. I want to be exceptional. I want to be the best. I want to become the MD. I want to become the top XYZ for my career line. This is what I want to be. And I like us, it takes thought. It doesn't, it's not flippant. It's something that you need to really deliberately think about and say, who do I want to be? Prayerfully think about. Who do I want to become? And once you have decided who you want to become, it drives what you have to do. So if I've said, for example, in business, I want to become somebody who does business in the B's. I want my business to be in tens of billions. I want it to grow in scope. Or I want to become a marketing guru. I want to become a big data expert. Or I want to become, someone who is known for coaching and supporting others in upgrading themselves to the next level. Whatever it is you have decided prayerfully that your career plan is, or maybe you're in entertainment, or maybe you are in music, or maybe you are in advertising, whatever it is that you say, look, I want to get to the top of this space, this is where I want to be. Once you've decided what you want to be, then what you want to be will define what you need to do. So in 2019, by the year 2019, by the time the year ends, I would like my career to be at a place where if you mention 5 people in this industry, I am one of them. Now, very lofty goal, very exciting goal. What does it mean I need to do? What certifications do I need to do? What training do I need to do? What volunteer work do I need to do? What exactly do I need to do? I tell people, and I'd like to share this with you, everybody can go from where they are to wherever in life they want to be. Everybody can get from where they are to where they want to be. They need to ask, what's the gap? Okay, so for example, I want to go to the US, if that's what I want to do. So where I am today is I'm in Lagos. Do I have a passport? Where I want to go to is the US. Where I am today is in Lagos. What's in the gap? What's in the gap is, do I have a passport? Do I have a visa? Before I get a visa, do I have money in my accounts to showcase that I have resources locally that I will be able to use to spend there? Do I have a relationship and family that shows that I'm tied to my local country and I'm not trying to escape? What do I need to get my American visa? What do I need to get on that journey? What do I need? Do I have money for tickets? Do I have, so once I check the gap between where I am and where I want to be, I need to ask myself, what next? What next? What next? So I answer all the questions of what's in the gap and I can make them available. I can go from where I am to where I want to be. If I was in Lagos and I was at Iyonfoworogi, which is a village somewhere in Osun State, then I need to get from Iyonfoworogi to Ibadan, from Ibadan, get to Lagos, and then I can apply the Lagos person's structure. Everybody can get to where they want to be. You need to be very clear, who do I want to become? What do I need to do? And once I realize, okay, this is what I need to do, then I ask myself, what exactly are the things that I need to have on my schedule? What are the things I need to have on my calendar? What are the milestones that I need to have so that I can measure? What are the timelines for reviewing, for achieving my milestones and for reviewing them? What are the quarterly results I expect? How do I want to measure and review those quarterly results? So my career, for my business, for everything in line of what I do for a living, I need to have very clear goals. So these are placeholders. Again, it's not total. So for somebody's career, that person may be thinking, okay, in my career, I am marketing this, another thing I'm doing, I'm this, I can look at my career in various forms. What am I doing? Who am I? What's my source of livelihood? And what does it require? And what do I need to do to ensure I can be all that I want to be? Okay. I hope we're still following. I just keep going, and then when we get to the question and answer time, we use ask questions. And now this is a very important part for me, and I think it should be for you as well. Family and friends. And family and friends sounds, everybody has family and friends. Family and friends is deep. Okay, so family and friends is the close relationships and connections you have that make your life meaningful. Now, of course, career is very important as well because unfortunately, many of us spend 8 hours to 10 to more of our lives on our career. So the colleagues we make there, the people we meet there, and the work we do there is essentially 1/3 plus of our lives. Family is where the major other bulk is spent. So family also gets the opportunity of some good measure of our lives. And many of us, more than we even spend time with family, we value family. We claim to value family. It's one of the big rocks that we need to ensure is put in first, and we need to plan adequately for. So if you're here today for family, in my own family goals, I have now I'm showing you areas. So first of all, showing you templates to say, what do I want to be? What will I do? And what will I have on my schedule or have as a plan? Now, in the same way, you're going to do that for family as well. For family, I want to go a little bit deeper into the area. So for family, I ask myself, who do I want to be? What kind of father do I want to be? What kind of husband do I want to be? Okay, and that will generate goals for me in these different areas. What kind of father do I want to be? I want to be a father who is fun to be with. I want to be a father whose children have fun memories of spending time with. I want to be a father who instructed their children in moral discipline, pointed them in the right way, trained them in a few of their courses, was present and available to them. I want to be kind of father my children can call when they have challenges and say, this is what I'm going through. I need your wisdom. I need the privilege of a point of view. What do you think? How do you see this? I want to be that kind of father. What kind of husband do I want to be? I want to be the kind of husband that my wife can trust. I want to be the kind of husband that can supply for the needs of my family. I want to be the kind of husband who, will represent God as a model for integrity, for truth, for good values in society. I want to be a father that my wife can be proud of, my children can be proud of, those kind of things. So your be, your do, your have will define your key elements. But in these key areas, so for example, in this year, I'd like to have more clarity about my family culture. I want my family. So we've done mission statement of our family, what's our family, what do we want to achieve as a family, what are our values. We've done this skeletally before. But 2019, I'd like to be able to, family to be stronger. Let's be clear on where we are. Let's build a few cultures. Let's build a few rituals. Let's build a few activities around the concept of our family. For our children's education and development, who do we want them to be? How do we want them to become? And then what do we need to do and have based on this dimension? For marriage rituals, what kind of marriage do I want? I want my marriage to be a model, I want my marriage to be a model marriage. I want us to be real. Yes, we are in our challenges and our challengelessness in how we manage our lives and how we carry on. I want us to be an example. I want us to be disciples of Jesus who also disciple others with our family. So do we have time outs as a family from time to time? Do we want to have key rituals of date nights? Do we want to have key rituals of, when we have family bonding time? What exactly do we want to do as a family? What do we want to do in our marriage? These are things that, who we want to be will influence what we want to do, will influence what we want to have on our schedules and our plans. Friendship rituals. Who do I want to be as a friend? Do I want to be deep and intimate with people? Do I want to have a core group of people that are my don't see, don't sleep, or how do I want to have? How do I want to be? What kind of friend do I want to be? Do I want to be checking out on my friends? Now, many of us have friends, and I'm a very bad example of this. I can have friends, and for 2-3 months, maybe I'm not communicating. Yeah. Now, this is not good. It's not because they're not valuable to me. It's because I've refused to put those big stones where they ought to be. So 2019, I want to be making it better. It won't become better because I wish it. I want to be a better friend. I want to be a friend that I'm the go-to guy if my guys have challenges, go-to guy if they need wisdom, go-to guy if they've messed up and they want to get somebody to, to counsel them and direct them. Go-to guy. I'm going to be that kind of person. And I hope you want to be as well. Then I must be accessible. I must be reaching out to them. I must have them on my schedule to call them, to connect with them. WhatsApp is beautiful, but nothing may happen if it's not a big stone that is put in first. If you wait for the good things in your life to happen first, or to happen, they will happen last with whatever space is left. So you put them in first and you make it happen. So the same way, we need to, who do I want to be as a friend? What do I need to do? What will I have on my schedule? Okay, everything that you're setting as a goal must work its way down into your schedule. Okay, so as you're listening to me, I hope you're taking notes, because the end of this is that you have a book. I'll show you an example of a book, and let me Let me show you something so that you can have an idea of what I'm talking about. So you can have a book, a diary of some sort, where you can say, you know what, these are the things, habits I want to form. This is my vision. Okay, this is how I want to celebrate my last year. And then these are my features of my yearly goals, my daily action plan, my events calendar. Okay, and my goals are SMART. This is what I want to achieve. This is my personal life goals. These are what I want to do. My health and wellness, my spiritual, my business, my career, my finance. I can have all of those things clearly spelled out. You can write them down. Okay, so this one is very colorful. But you can write them down. My financial goals, how all those goals want to be. I can document them and say this is exactly I want this to read. And then I can have I can basically have a diary and then track. I can get a power planner and then track. I get this, this is mine for last year. I use more electronic than anything else. So, but this is fine as well. This is fantastic. You can use this. If you're the writing type, you can write, document, and plan. Like I said, if your life is going to be beautiful, and it must be beautiful, yeah. If your life is going to be beautiful, then there must be a plan. Architectural designs are not usually drawn for huts or mud houses. Architectural designs must be done for skyscrapers. They must be done for bungalows. They must be done for duplexes, for terraces. And the taller, the bigger, the more exciting and exotic the building is, the more the plan needs to be done. I'll tell you something. I saw the plan for one of the structures that one of my mentors was building, and the plan was in a box. Okay, the plan was in a box this thick. And the plan, the drawings had about, 100 and something pages, very long sheets. The bigger the building, the bigger the plan. So not planning just shows how shabby what you want to develop is. And I trust God that none of us here want to do anything shabby. Okay, we want to do something phenomenal, something amazing. That's why we're here. So I'm going to continue from where I stopped. So for family, these are the key areas where we want to have our key goals. So please set up the goals for the family, for family mission, culture, children's education, marriage rituals, family rituals, friendship rituals. If you have any questions, please document them. Once I'm done, I will give ample opportunity for us to ask questions. I intend to do this in 1 hour, so it's 1 hour. Now, another very key area is finance. And finance is very important because finance is something that all of us try to behave as if it's not much of a big deal, but it's a big deal. And I think it's a big deal. In the Bible, you find more allegories, synonyms, and references to things that have to do with money, much more than the things of eternal value, much more than heaven, hell, love, things of eternal value. Is it because money is so important? No. It's because money is so important to the human psyche that anybody who really wants to teach you, train you, or help you to live the right life will need to talk about how to free your mind and yourself from the bondage of things, of pursuing the world and the world's ways. The Bible says if you seek first the kingdom of God and righteousness, every other thing shall be added. Okay, so money is crucial. Money is crucial to how life is lived here on earth. I cannot wear clothes if there's no money. I will not eat food if there's no money. I'm limited in my show of love if there's no resource. So it's important. But money must not be our end. Okay, money must not be what we are trying to use to validate any dimension of growth in our lives. Money is only available and useful for its use. The Bible says you cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve God and money. You will love one, you will hate the other. And what it means is money has the capacity to take on the space of a master. Mammon is a spirit force, essentially, behind money that has the capacity to take you over. Take your worship, take your devotion, take your commitment, take your heart, take your mind, take your soul. Really, you can trade all you have for money. But this is what does it cost to profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? Your soul is more valuable than resources. It's important to clear this. But it's important to also clear this because money becomes really important, because once money troubles worry you and disturb you, you will find it difficult to focus your attention on anything else. Okay, so very clearly in scripture, God put scriptures, and Jesus Christ also made it very clear that our goal and the object of our lives is Christ, and there's no other end that we desire other than Christ. Everything else is a means, and because we are stewards under God, we can apportion resources as He gives us command. This is very important. So for the year 2019, you need to also have financial goals. If you're going to really be a steward of much and going to do things in God's kingdom, then you need to be able to have goals and plans for your finances as well. So how am I going to earn? What streams of income will I earn? Okay. Somebody is writing A on the board. Who is the person that has this kind of control? So streams of income, expenses, and expenses are what are the projects I want to spend on? What am I going to be spending on a monthly basis this year? What would my expenses be at the end of the year? What would my income stream be? I did this for somebody, and the person realized, wow, I've been fooling myself thinking that my life will be okay if I can only earn 200,000 naira per month. The person discovers that their expenses alone and the debt profile that they've built over the years will require more than 300,000 naira per month for them to break even. Now, if you don't know what you're up against, then you have a challenge. But if you know what you're up against, then you can plan and say, okay, these are my expenses, my streams of income must exceed this. This is how much I want to save, and this is what I want to build as assets, and these are my liabilities. This is how far I will have gone in depleting them by the end of the year. Now, this is important. So, what are the streams of income I want to earn? What would I love to earn? Who do I want to become? So, also, these are the areas, but also don't lose sight of who do I want to become at the end of the year financially. I want to become self-sustained. I want to become independent. I want to become interdependent. I want to become somebody who is able to finance and give to charities. I want to become somebody who is able to help other people. I want to be able to earn more than I'm spending. I want to be able to contribute 15% of my income to savings. I want to be able to do and achieve this. What streams of income would I love to create? Spell them out, write them clearly, think about them. What would I like to get involved in 2019? Okay, if you don't know, so I'd like to get involved in something. This is what I'm doing currently. I like it to grow to this extent. And there's something else I want to get involved in. This is what it is. I like to change my job. I like to get another job. I like to go for another opportunity. Whatever it is, have a plan. Prayerfully have a plan. Seek God's face and say, God, would you like me to do this? Is this something that, is also in stock for me? Our opportunities to learn how to hear God is at these times. When there's no pressure, there's no emergency, there's no alert. We're just trying to ensure that our lives are lived in order. We want to live in order. Expenses. What courses am I giving to this year? Am I becoming a part of Kingdom Treasurers? Am I going to make a commitment to what I'm going to give towards God's work in the church? Am I going to participate in Market for Men? Am I going to be involved in that project? What exactly am I going to be spending on? Can I have a plan for them? Can I plan for them and have them in place? Am I going to build any assets? Am I going to make any savings? Whatever it is you want to do in your finances, spell it out. Okay? When we set our sails, God sends the wind. Our sails are important. Let's set them. Let's set the goals. Let's have the plans. Let's mind the gap. And let's watch God moving, because God owns all things. The cattle of 1,000 hills belongs to Him. And He makes all things beautiful in His time. Okay, so it's not something to get. I saw a scripture, I think it's Luke 19, verse 14, where the Bible says the parable of silent, parable of miners, where the master gave miners to the people who are doing who are his servants. The Bible says he left, and then his servants, his citizens, sent a message after him saying, "We do not want this man to reign over us." The Bible says his citizens hated him. And I'm like, how will a man just give his citizens, miners, money, and then he will leave to go and get delegation authority to become king, and they will send a delegation before him saying they hate him and they don't want him to be king over them? And the Holy Spirit opened my eyes to realize, when you love money, the Bible says when you love, you cannot serve God and money. When you love one, you have hated the other. So what happened with them was their love for the minas they had received created a hatred for their Lord. And you and I don't want to be in a space where we hate because our attention is too glued on resources. And the best place to be is not to have resources, because poverty is also a curse. And people don't live better lives or more value-driven lives because they are poorer. So where do you want to be? You want to be in a place where you have not chosen one. You've not chosen money ahead of God. You have chosen God, and you see that every resource in your possession still belongs to Him, and you are a steward. Now, with this kind of mental framework, you can go for everything that is possible in increasing your expenses because in increasing your income because you know who it belongs to, in managing your expenses because you know under whose stewardship you are, in saving appropriately because you know that God wants you to be useful in taking care of others. If you remember, David saved so that Solomon could build. And then in building assets and liabilities because you realize whose you are. And in that ownership, you can now continue to expand tentacles and expand, knowing that he that owns can instruct you and he also wants you to make provisions for his work. I hope that's clear. And then we'll go into the area of intellectual goals. So remember, who do I want to be? What will I need to do? And what do I need to have on my schedule? Okay, whatever it is that doesn't make it your schedule is a useless goal, is a dream, is a fantasy. Okay, so if I want to become the person who is more knowledgeable about leadership, is more knowledgeable about creativity, understands business models more, is able to understand more about Series A funding, Series B funding, seed funding, wants to be involved in the, in Silicon Valley, or wants to become the kind of person who is a businessman, a businesswoman, who understands how to sell, how to increase and expand their business, how to take their business to the next level. I want to become knowledgeable in this area. For example, that's what I want to be. I want to become someone who is able to gather crowds of people and enlighten and educate them because it's also a platform for discipleship. So I want to become somebody who is knowledgeable in an area of life where many people want to come and learn so that I can use that as my platform to reach out to many people. Whatever it is that you want to become in the line of who God says that you are, you ask yourself, what books do I need to read? Do I need to read books on leadership? If you look behind me, you see a variety of books. I have them there, struggling to read as much as possible. I'm not reading half as much as I should. What I need to, I wouldn't read because I have books behind me. I will not read because there are books in the library. I will read because I have scheduled it. And when I'm scheduling it, I will realize this is what I'm going to have to sacrifice. Because my schedule has already taken on the habit of being filled with all sorts of things. If I am going to make room for something more, something needs to leave my plate. Something needs to die for something else to be born. And I'll talk about that more later. So what books do I need to read? What blogs and magazines do I need to subscribe to? What skills do I need to learn? These are the things that will be on my do. And if I ever will really do them, I need to get them into my calendar, into my schedule, and have to have a routine or an appointment set for when I will do them. And it might be as basic as I want to read 6 books. Now is the time when you begin to decide proactively which books are those 6 books. So let's say, for example, I know 4 of those books. So I'm going to create a space for 2 more books that I will discover in the course of the year. And then I will prioritize them and I will read them. Are they books that will help me develop my family? Are they books that will help me develop my leadership? Are they books that will help me with my creativity? Are they books that will help me with my intuition? Are they books that will help me in my awareness? I need to read. Are there blogs I need to subscribe to? Are there magazines I need to read? Are there video channels on YouTube I need to watch? Some of us, there are things that, you gain a lot of energy from. So you need to schedule them and say, I like what this guy talks about. I like what this is about here. I want to listen to this person regularly. Many of us just go to any Facebook page, go to any Instagram page, and before we know it, we've wasted a lot of time on Instagram. Those are fantastic opportunities that you can kill to allow the things that you really want to do space. So make up your mind. These are the things I want to read. These are what I want to subscribe to. These are videos I need to watch. These are audios I need to listen to once a week, once a day, whatever works for you, and knowing the things you need to kill to make them happen. So these I need to learn. These are the skills I need to learn. So to develop your intellectual goals. Okay, and then physical goals. Okay, physical goals have to do with your physique, have to do with your health. There are many categories of them. What do I want to be? I want to become the kind of person who is fit. I want my BMI to be normal. I want to reduce my capability to fall ill. I want to exercise daily. I want to be fit. I want to be fit, lively, healthy, be able to live longer. What do I need to do? I need to lose 20 pounds. I need to lose 20 kg. I need to lose 20 kg. So what will I need to do? So what will I need to have? I need to have in my schedule that 3 times in a week, I will go to the gym. 3 times in a week, I'll go to this. That once in a month, I'll do this. That once in a week, I will fast. Set up the goals. Okay? Put them on your schedule. And one of the beautiful ways to make this work is that social dimension, that family and friends. So Can I get my family to hold me accountable? Can I get my friends to hold me accountable? Can I do this in a group? Can I join a group? Can I be announcing this? Many of these goals, ladies and gentlemen, they will never be done if you keep them as a secret to yourself. So as a family, so we're learning this as a family today. As a family, we owe ourselves, for example, to hold ourselves accountable to say, Ola, Alpha, Ola, Alpha, comfort, what's going on? Are you doing this thing? You said you're going to do this. So we can share our goals with each other and say, oh, yeah, ma, what you said this was your goal. Are you doing it? Where are you on it? Can we see your quarterly review? Riches, what's going on? Adekunle Alashi, what's up? Can ask Sotoye, what are you doing? Is this really as we expected it to go? Monthly review, quarterly review to ensure that our goals are going on them. But they need to make it to our schedules, they need to make it to our plans. Be who do I want to be, do what do I have to do, where will I have this so that it can be done? And then of course, we have our social goals. The last but not least, say, look, am I scheduling time to have fun? Okay. What kind of person do I want to be? Do I want to be a nerd? Do I want to be a stuck-up person who is zoned into their laptop, never looking at other people? Or do I want to be a fun to be with, friendly person who is attracting people left, right, and center towards Jesus? Who people want to know, want to meet, want to like. I want to find out what's making your life tick. In the world where people are gloomy, worried, troubled, do I want to be a light? Do I want to share of the generosity of the life of Christ? Is this where I want to be? Do I want to be fun to be with? What are my small groups? Am I going to be a part of a small group? And church offers a phenomenal opportunity for us to have small groups. Many of us are not making advantage of it. I hope in 2019, we can take advantage of our small groups and say, you know what, I want to be a part of this group. I want to do stuff together. I want to be able to quarterly do some things, exact same things together. I don't want to have a group of people I want to. Because guess what? Woe to him that is alone in Zion. One of the worst times to ever discover the value of people is when you're in trouble. Bible says a friend is born for adversity. It means the reason why you have friends is because there are times when you will need them. And those times when you need them, you better have friends. And you don't have friends when you have problems. You have friends long before. Because they're the ones that will answer for you. Somebody was praying in a group I was recently. He said, I pray that when I'm in trouble, I have friends like Deolu, Wale, and Yomi. And for me, that's a lot to me. Because we just ventured out to help this person out. And people could see the value of friendship. Are there networks you need to join? Are there associations you need to join? Do you need to join the choir? Do you need to join, and be active as a community together in an initiative? Is there something you want to push together with other people that will strengthen the bond of you and allow you to be social? God didn't make us to be absolutely independent. He said, let us make man in our image. Man was not made in my image. It was made in our image. Man was designed to be a collective person, to be social, to relate with others, to have friends, to do things together. Many of us quote many scriptures that are for we quote as I. It says for we have the mind of Christ. There are things that it's only when we come together as a family, as a team, as a body, that we're able to enjoy the fullest value. When one which is 1,002 put 10,000 to flight, the more we are, the more we can pursue. That is when one lies down alone is cold, but when two come together, they are warm. Okay? That means two are better than one because they have the better reward for their labor. So you and I, if we work together in these small groups, have fun together, build networks, we'll achieve a lot more together. Okay, and finally, last but not the least, it's not about good goals. Nope. It's about what you are willing to sacrifice or pay. So as you form these goals, I'd like you to ask yourself, what am I willing to let go of to make this happen? Okay? If I'm going to be able to wake up early in the morning to have my quiet time with God, speak to him, read his word, get in a study challenge, do something exciting, what will I need to do? What will I need to let go of? Do I need to let go of sleeping late? Do I need to sleep a little bit earlier so that I can wake up and do more? Do I need to cancel some meetings I normally will have and replace them with something else? What sacrifices do I need to make? Write down your sacrifices. So write down in 2019, what sacrifices will I make? In 2019, what prices will I pay? Somebody said, I don't need training, no. And I said, no. The reason why you're at the level where you are is because no training has been happening. No development has been happening. You're not reading any book. You're not developing yourself. Challenge yourself. Pay a price. Increase your capacity. And then set a goal for a higher year and see whether it will play out. It will play out. Because Life responds to the prices we pay and the sacrifices we make. Okay, don't expect 2019 to be better if you're not willing to pay a bigger price. Don't expect 2019 to be better if you're not willing to make more sacrifices. I remember growing up, and giving dangerously, giving some money that I didn't have, giving beyond the scope of what, and I didn't die. Whatever it is that you sacrifice will not kill you. You will learn to cope and build without it. And I want to encourage you. Your goals, your real goals, will create momentum for you to do amazing new things. Yeah? But what are you going to sacrifice? Nothing new will enter your calendar except something old leaves it. Many of us, we're not showing up on time for different things that are important. We're not showing up, for the things that are important but not urgent. Our commitment levels are not as high as it should be. It's because we never really understood that we needed to sacrifice. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to challenge you. Make up a mind to sacrifice. We need to give up to go up. There's some things we need to let go of if you want to go up. Okay? The time you spend on Instagram, the time you spend just watching jokes, comedies, and videos, the time you spend analyzing Nigeria and criticizing the things that you have no control over, the times you waste watching television programs that don't really concern you, streamline them. Create time for the things that will make your plan come to pass. And watch how beautiful 2019 can be. Okay, I think at that junction, I can open up the floor for question and answers. I think we've had a long talk as far as this is concerned. I've done about 1 hour on this already. So please, if you have questions, please ask. We're at some point we're 22 in the room. Now we're 19. It seems like 2 people have dropped off at some point, or 3. Please ask your questions. I don't know if you can do audio or you can just type it in this window. If you can type it in this window, fine. If you would like to speak, you can buzz me here as well. I can unmute. Can I unmute people? Oh, yes. I can actually unmute people. So I just I tried to unmute Sutonye to see if it was something I could do from here. So if you want to speak, let me know if you want to speak. And if you want to type, you can type your questions at the chat window there. I will take the next few minutes answering questions. I hope you heard me, and I hope you have learned something and it was useful. So maybe you can start with feedback, and then you can ask your question as well, so that I'll be sure that I wasn't speaking to myself. Okay, that analysis was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, the bosses was helpful. Human systems with deep insights. Okay, where the rubber meets the road is when we take our pens and we document and write. Okay, this is very important. So it's important that we do this. Let's make it happen. Questions? Which says, okay, so it says insightful, which says loud and clear, very on point. It'll be good. Let's document our own plans. This is just a skeleton that gives us an idea of what it can look like. I'd like you to go ahead and really, really do it. Sit down with your spouse, make it happen. It's very important. Okay. Yeah, scheduling is everything. Otherwise, you're joking. Yep. So it needs to make our schedule. So yeah, I wanted to show you something. So let me show you something interesting. Okay, so this is a calendar of some sorts. They're trying to, I think all of us need a calendar, a small calendar like this for 2019, where you can plan. I like the calendar. It's very small. It shows you all Mondays. It shows you all Tuesdays. It's something you can just use and plan. Basically, fixing the things that are important. We'll fit in these things from church, and once it's fitted from church, you can know what the events from church will be, and then you see all the other 3 days. You can plan your own meetings and events, and you can take it on from there. Okay. Somebody says, what do you do when two goals are conflicting? Do you drop one for the other? How do you decide which goal to share for another? So what do you mean by that? What do you mean by if two goals are conflicting? Remember, before you set any doing goal, it's important that you know the being goal. And at the level of being, it's not likely that you'll conflict. So I cannot want to be this and then be that. Because once the B is faulty, then I'll be doing various things. So, I hope I've answered your question. Once you set it from a B point to say this is what I want to be, then you will have less conflicts. But if you go from I want to do my master's in America, and then you have I want to stay back in Nigeria. Who do you want to become? So let the B at the end of the year drive the do's. I hope that helps. Someone says, can I decide to work on some aspects of my life rather than all the areas of life? Yes, you can decide to have a plan for certain areas of your life. Well, I think we can keep it really simple. You can keep it really simple and have something basic to say, okay, look, I think the core of our being is our relationship with God. So if I say, for example, I want to imitate God, yeah, this will drive my journey in following God, in reading my Bible, in praying, in associating with God. This will have a spillover effect to my career, because in imitating God, I will work at work as if I'm working for God. I will give my work the best. This will spill over to my friends. I will be the kind of friend that Jesus was, who washed the feet of the disciples, who showed them and taught them everything that he knew. Who showed them and taught them everything that he knew. I will do that for them. If it's in my family, what kind of person is God? God loves his children. He loved them so much that he gave his only begotten son to die for them. If God loves me this much, how should I love my children? So it can spill over. But I don't want to say that not wanting to do everything can be some kind of laziness. But don't be lazy. This is important. There's this saying that says, measure twice and cut once. Okay? It means plan, and then execute. Plan twice, execute once. Every time you spend in planning, it's worth it. Okay. Any other questions tonight? Okay, Alashi, my pleasure. So please, tomorrow, if you can make it, we're going to be meeting at 7 Olufunlola Kyoto Street at Heaven Citizens Christian Center tomorrow. Fellowship time will be between the hours of 9 and 11. 9 and 11, we're going to be having fellowship together. After 11, we're going to have a small touch point together where we will, we can do a quick touch point on this. We can ask a few questions and we can try and sort a few things out. It'll be good if between now and tomorrow you can already put some things down so that we can look at them together. We can evaluate what we have done. I can give a few corrections here and there. We're only 20 in this class, so we can just very briefly in 30 minutes look at what we have done, comment on a few things. You can see me one-on-one. I can help out in ways I can. We can see, get everybody together, get everybody going on a good start. It's important to plan. Proper planning prevents poor performance. If we fail to plan, we'll say we have planned to fail. I'd like to just greet everybody again once, that is here. I can see Auntie Mo raising her hand up. You're welcome. Adekunle Alashi, you're welcome. Anthony, you're welcome. I can see Deji Olatunde. You are welcome. Diola Kayode, well done. I can see you. Amon Adejobi Jare, I can see you. Bibileke Adeoti, you're welcome. Benga Debi, you're welcome. Somebody's name is iPhone. If you're iPhone, please share your name. We don't know who you are. Lucy Noel Abdullah, you're welcome. Mayowa Fanida, great to have you here. You're welcome. Olaluwa Ramola, you're welcome. Olubusola, you are welcome. Mima, you're welcome. Riches, you're welcome. Samabiade, you are welcome. Sotoyo too, you're welcome. Temitopo Yakemi, you're welcome. And Comfort Peace Ofure, you can see your head a little bit in the camera. You're dodging the whole face. We can see the hair. You're welcome as well. How can one get the calendar templates? Okay, I'll put the calendar template together. It should be ready by tomorrow. Should it be ready by tomorrow? It should be ready by tomorrow. Just make sure that the person I invited you has your email. I think it was Wale from the business group. For all the guests of the business group, you're welcome as well. We'll be glad to see you tomorrow. Please, if you don't have anywhere you're fixed or scheduled to go tomorrow, we'd like to change that schedule and pull you to join us at the Heaven Citizens Christian Center. It's a love family. We'd like you to join us there. Let's see you. And, we can at least add a face to the names we've been seeing all the while. So you can get a calendar template from Wale, and that will help.